Welcome to NextGear's Track Series. Now the time has finally come for the most anticipated part of the season, the 3 consecutive days at Autobahn Country Club South, North, and their full track with my new M3. Now at the beginning of the season, this weekend was originally meant to be the M3's introduction to the track, but I got impatient earlier in the season and have already taken it to both Blackhawk and Gingerman. Now at both tracks, I found a few things that I wanted to improve on the car. The first being the dead zone in the steering wheel when you're initially turning. The second being the floaty feeling at high-speed turns. And the third was the non-linear acceleration and braking when using Sport and Sport Plus modes. Now the original front brakes held up very well in those first 2 track days, as did the Pirelli P0s. But the rear brakes were a different story, and after only 3,000 miles and 2 track days, they were already down to 5 millimeters. Now there was no way these were going to make it through this weekend, so I quickly replaced them with EBC Blue Stuffs in the rear, which are an inexpensive hybrid pad that give similar or slightly better braking to the original pads. They are cheap at only $100 a set, which is good because from my experience they're only going to last you about 3 track days, and needed to be replaced after this Autobahn weekend. Now they should last a bit longer if you turn traction control completely off and switch to a pure track pad from Cobalt or Endless, but I intend on finishing out the season with the brand new set of blue stuffs that I just put on the rear, and then finishing out the use of the fronts, and then changing to a set of track pads for next season in the front and back. Now to fix the other issues that I mentioned, I found that getting the full M3 CS flash and M2 CS tune for the car fixed all of those issues, and overall made the Trek experience much more enjoyable. Now the steering flash fixed the issues I was having with the dead zone, and the suspension flash changes made it feel much more stable on higher speed turns. Now the engine tune gave me a noticeable bump to power and fixed the non-linear feel of the higher engine modes. The transmission, differential, and MDM CS flashes also gave noticeable benefits but didn't necessarily fix any issues I had with the stock configurations. Now this first day was on the track that I have done most in my career, Autobahn South. Now earlier in the year I was getting a time of 146 in the E90 BMW and a 143 in the S2000. So based on the previous tracks, I knew I was aiming for a sub 138 or so once I got comfortable with the M3. Now unfortunately, this marked the 5th track day in a row of crazy heat and humidity with 95-degree temperatures and 60 to 80% humidity. I was in for another hot one. Now in the first session of the day, I was able to get a 140. Now in the second session, I was able to push it a bit more. I was able to get a 139, which is the lap you're seeing right now. And then in session 3, with all the modes now on Sport or Sport Plus, I was able to manage a 138 followed by a 137, which are the laps that you will see next. Now there's definitely a bunch more time here with even the current stock setup, and I should be able to easily manage a sub 135 the next time I come here on a cooler day. Now I decided to skip the final 2 sessions of the day as I was overheated and a storm was coming in the next hour or 2, which makes for an interesting Sunday at Autobahn North. That will be in the next video though. For this one, enjoy the 2 fastest lap of the day around Autobahn South.